Morning San Antonio starts right now.
A woman shot in her own driveway. How Bexar County deputies say suspects were able to keep her from getting away during the attack.
Former President Donald Trump responds to the January 6th committee's move to urge the Justice Department to criminally prosecute him. I'm ABC's Faith Abube in Washington. Details coming up.
And a big win for your San Antonio Spurs. Find out how they came from behind to defeat the Houston Rockets last night.
That's great news. Outside with live cam, we're on the lookout for fog this morning, and we are seeing some of that right now. I believe that's the live cam out there on Loop 410. We'll talk to Mike in just a moment. But good morning to you. It is going to be a terrific Tuesday, December 20th, because Courtney Friedman is here on the morning show for the first time. We decided in 4 years.
I haven't anchored this morning show in 4 years.
So normally you would see her weekend nights.
Yes.
So she's not going to get any sleep this week.
No sleep. Well, I have a young child, so I'm used to
You
that.
don't get sleep anyway, so.
Having no sleep was very easy for me this morning.
Absolutely. Well, we're so glad you're here.
Yay. I'm so happy to be here.
Yes, it's good to see you again. Mike is here now. Of course, all eyes on the extended forecast as we go into the end of the week.
You're right. And the timing is still going to be mid-afternoon Thursday, obviously sooner in the hill country for that big, strong cold front. Winter officially begins tomorrow afternoon, and then it's going to arrive just almost exactly 24 hours later. Short term, though, we are dealing with fog. Now, this picture's not as bad as one we just showed. The other one was over there at 10 at 410. But as you can see, there is plenty of fog in the background there. Visibility at the airport, 1.5 miles, same thing, Port SA, half-mile Bernie Stage. Lesser visibility out there, I should say, in Kerrville, and it continues out to the west. Weather Service has issued a dense fog advisory for the hill country and indicated that probably going to be expanding this, obviously monitoring the situation, but probably going to be expanding this. And I wouldn't be surprised if it includes San Antonio and some of the I-35 corridor in the next couple of hours. But this is in effect up until 10 o'clock this morning. 46 right now. It's that damp cold with all that humidity out there. There's a lot of mist as well. You know, it was one of those where you're looking at the wind chill, it's like, yeah, there's a little bit of mist out there. So roads are damp. Mold is on the low side. And throughout the rest of today, it's not going to warm up all that much, although warmer than yesterday. We only stayed at 50 yesterday. We'll make it up to the upper 50s. Kind of breezy today. Northeasterly wind 10-20 miles per hour. Little bit of sunshine, limited sunshine later on today. Just about the same situation tomorrow. Even warmer on Thursday prior to the front coming on through here. And we're looking at a hard freeze coming on in here and some brutally cold wind chills. We got all those numbers coming up in just a couple of minutes. Courtney, Mark?
All right. Thank you, Mike. Well, this morning, Bexar County deputies say a woman was shot and assaulted while being cornered in her own driveway by suspects in 2 cars that had pulled up behind her. This happened south of San Antonio near Highway 16 in Kings Row. Investigators didn't give a motive, but the woman is still in the hospital with a gunshot wound to her arm. So far, police have not said if they've arrested anyone in the case.
In Washington, all eyes on the U.S. Justice Department. That's after the House January 6th Select Committee voted unanimously asking the department to prosecute former President Donald Trump.
As ABC's Faith Abube explains, the panel is recommending Trump be charged with breaking multiple criminal statutes related to the attack on the U.S. Capitol.
This morning, the fallout continues after that decisive move by the House January 6 Select Committee. The panel wrapping up its sweeping 18-month-long investigation by issuing 4 unprecedented criminal referrals against a former president, urging the Justice Department to prosecute former President Donald Trump for a multi-part conspiracy, obstructing an official proceeding, conspiracy to defraud the United States, conspiracy to make a false statement, and inciting an insurrection.
It was with solemnity and sadness that the facts led to criminal referrals for the former president of the United States.
The panel, made up of 2 Republicans and 7 Democrats, using a video montage to highlight some of the most damning evidence they uncovered against Trump. From lies about the 2020 election to sworn testimony from his own allies alleging for 187 minutes, Trump ignored urgent calls to stop the January 6 violence.
No man who would behave that way at that moment in time can ever serve in any position of authority in our nation again.
Some of the Capitol police officers who fended off the angry mob in the room.
I agree with all the referrals, and I think he needs to be held accountable.
In a social media statement, Trump defending his actions, saying the committee's move only strengthens him, adding, quote, "What doesn't kill me makes me stronger." Former Vice President Mike Pence, himself a target of the mob on January 6, telling Fox News,
I think that would be terribly divisive in the country at a time when the American people want to see us heal.
And the January 6th committee also referred Trump's election attorney, John Eastman, and others for criminal prosecution. It's also urging a congressional ethics investigation against 4 GOP congressmen who ignored lawfully issued subpoenas from the committee. A full report will be released tomorrow. In Washington, Faith Abube, ABC News.
Other news this morning, suspense is mounting at the U.S. border with Mexico about the future of restrictions on asylum seekers. This as the U.S. Supreme Court temporarily blocked a lower court order to stop turning back migrants based on rules set in place during the pandemic. Chief Justice John Roberts granted the stay and asked the administration of President Biden to respond by today. Conservative-leaning states won a reprieve with Monday's order as they push to keep limits on asylum seekers, warning of an unprecedented calamity at the southern border. Right now, El Paso is rushing to expand its ability to accommodate more migrants with more shelters as the Red Cross brings in 10,000 cots.
This morning, the Los Angeles jury that just convicted former Hollywood producer Harvey Weinstein of rape is moving on to sentencing. The LA County District Attorney's Office says the panel reconvenes today to hear about aggravating factors. The LA jury convicted Weinstein of 3 out of 7 charges. He could face up to 24 years in prison. He's already serving 23 years for a similar conviction in New York in 2020, but that state's highest court has agreed to hear his appeal. Weinstein had pleaded not guilty to all 7 charges against him in L.A.
Argentina's football team treated with a hero's welcome when they returned home overnight. They were greeted with celebrations at Buenos Aires International Airport shortly after they touched down. There they are. The 2022 World Cup champs were led off the plane by star player Lionel Messi, who was seen hoisting the trophy to cheers from the crowds. The team then boarded their bus, which took them through the streets, which were flooded with excited fans.
He deserves it.
Yes, he does. 437, 46 degrees.
Texas oysters may now be linked to more than 200 illnesses in 8 states. There's also some HEB cat food that can make your cat sick. What you need to know about these recalls coming up.
And a much needed win by our Spurs last night, taking on the Houston Rockets. How the Spurs changed their strategy in the second half to pull off the victory.
And taking a look outside with TransGuide, let's see where we're at today. We are at I-35 at Alamo, and it is looking smooth.
It really is. Outside with live cam, still cool. On the lookout for that fog. And we'll get a double check on those temperatures later on this week as South Texas heads for the deep freeze. We'll be right back. You're watching TMSA. We're watching the newscast.
We're watching it too.
Yeah. Good morning. Welcome back. Time for a look at morning sports. Our Spurs renewed their I-10 rivalry against the Houston Rockets last night. Keldon Johnson was out with tightness in his right hamstring. Good start for the Silver and Black. In transition, Devin Vassell spots up, drains a 3, 6-0 San Antonio. A few plays later, Vassell back out to Keita Bates-Diop for another triple, and they lead 16-6, forcing a Rockets timeout. Second quarter, Rockets score 34 to take the lead, but the Spurs hit a 3 at the buzzer. And San Antonio enters halftime trailing by 2. Third quarter, Spurs retake control of the game. Sohan comes up with a rebound, puts it back up and in. Then, final seconds of the frame, Vassell hits a step-back three-pointer. San Antonio takes a 92-76 lead into the fourth quarter. Spurs keep the pedal to the metal. Vassell to Jakob Poeltl on the pick and roll makes it 101-79 Spurs. Rookie Malachi Branham hits a mid-range jumper to keep the lead going. Then Trey Jones finds Zach Collins for a long floater. Spurs score 32 points in the fourth quarter. They also snapped their 2-game losing streak. Final 124-105. So what changed for the Spurs after halftime?
Pop getting into us. He came into the halftime and, he has those moments, but we needed it, and it just brought the juice up back out of us. And, we picked it up a lot on the defensive end, got us in transition, and just started being more aggressive.
Next up, Spurs take on the Pelicans in New Orleans. Tip-off set for 7 o'clock Thursday night at Smoothie King Center. 45,000 tickets have now been sold for the Spurs' 50th anniversary game against the Golden State Warriors, January 13th in the Alamo Dome. That's where the Spurs are hoping to break the all-time regular season NBA attendance record set by the Chicago Bulls The Atlanta Hawks back in March of 1998 when 62,046 fans attended the game in the Georgia Dome. That was during Michael Jordan's last regular season game as a member of the Bulls. To help out this time, the Spurs have made more $10 tickets available.
Pro football coverage powered by Davis Law Firm.
Big NFL news. The Eagles may be without their star quarterback on their Christmas Eve showdown with the Cowboys. It's after Jalen Hurts suffered a sprain to his right throwing shoulder in their win over the Bears. If Hurts can't go, it will be backup Gardner Minshew, with the Eagles still needing one more win to clinch the NFC East and home field advantage throughout the NFC playoffs. Comes after the Cowboys suffered that unexpected loss in overtime to the Jacksonville Jaguars after being up 17 points. Still, Dallas qualified for the playoffs with the second straight season under head coach Mike McCarthy.
Thankful or excited. I don't know how exciting it was because my wife woke me up to tell me we made the playoffs. But we need to win the 11th game.
Kickoff on Christmas Eve in Arlington is set for 3:25, and that's morning sports.
Yeah, I have a lot of people I know biting their nails already. All right, it is 4:43, 46 degrees outside. Still ahead, a big warning if you're a fan of Texas oysters. We'll tell you about the recall along with some other products that have some problems right now.
A big fine for Fortnite up next. To first look at why the game's creator is in trouble and what parents need to know.
Welcome back. Epic Games, the maker of the popular video game Fortnite, has agreed to pay more than $500 million for violating children's privacy laws. ABC's Trevor Alt has the details in today's GMA First Look.
In this morning's GMA First Look, fines against Fortnite totaling $500 million. One of the settled civil complaints against Epic Games alleges the company used confusing and inconsistent button configurations to trick players into unwanted payments.
We found that even when a user was just looking to wake the game back up after it had gone into sleep mode, they could be charged with all sorts of fees that they didn't intend to make.
Epic Games says we accepted this agreement because we want Epic to be at the forefront of consumer protection and provide the best experience for our player. We share the underlying principles of fairness, transparency, and privacy that the FTC enforces. So what does this mean for the parents of Fortnite players? Well, it's all coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Trevor Alt, ABC News, New York.
447, from raw oysters from here in Texas to cat food and at-home COVID tests, there are several recalls in effect this morning.
12 on your sides, Marilyn Moritz tells us what to look out for.
Texas raw oysters may now be linked to 211 illnesses. The CDC is investigating the outbreak that's hit 8 states. The Texas Health Department has recalled all oysters harvested from Galveston-based Texas 1 area since November 17th. They may be contaminated with norovirus, a very contagious stomach flu. Restaurants have been ordered not to serve them. Don't feed this HEB cat food to your pet. It might make him sick. TFP Nutrition is recalling certain 16-pound bags of HEB Texas Pets Indoor Complete dry cat food because of possible salmonella. Look for November 13th on the package code. Contact TFP Nutrition for a new bag or refund. COVID test alert. The company Detect Inc. is recalling more than 11,000 of its at-home COVID tests because false test results aren't reliable. The use-by date is January 1st. Too hot. 30,000 of these Good Matters 3-wick candles are recalled because they can burn too hot and break. A few have caught fire. They come in various colors and scents and were sold at Home Goods Tuesday morning in Amazon. We have the lot numbers and more details on all of these recalls on our website. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Checking TransGuide is just checked with TxDOT, and no stalled vehicles, no delays, no accidents to speak of right now. But there is some fog and a little bit of mist out there right now. So you had to go back to 2018 to see Courtney Friedman in this spot?
Yeah.
Last time you were here on the morning show, filling in?
It's a long time ago.
Yeah.
A lot of things have changed.
Yes, they have.
Yes, they have. But I'm still happy to be here with you.
We're glad you're here, too.
Yeah, a lot has changed because you got married and had a beautiful little baby girl, too.
Oh, I did.
I know.
I did.
And we got old.
I grew up, I guess. I have to be an adult now. I'm a lot less fun, apparently.
She showed up this morning and said, you guys are still here?
God, I don't know. I didn't know if you'd be here or not.
we're here. Anyway, it's like the sun rising in the east. It just happens. We'll be here. So here's a cute little picture. Everybody's posting all of their little Santa pictures. Stormy is posing with a little snowman right there. I like the sweater, too. Thank you very much for the KSAT Connect picture. All right, this view actually looks like it's gotten slightly better, but don't get a false sense of security. We're still going to have a lot of thick fog around here. We got 1.5 mile visibility officially out there at the airport. Port SA, but then you look at Randolph and Stinson, not bad. So it's west-northwest side, then going up I-10 is where the thickest fog is right now, and then also off to the east. So Gonzales, a lot of fog, and you go in toward not only Curva, but also Rock Springs, Del Rio has plenty of fog, and this is going to be sticking around for the next couple of hours, and we are going to be seeing it get thicker at times. Dense fog advisory just for the hill country and just outside of Bexar County, but like I said, right off the top of the show, Weather Service indicated that it may be expanding this as time rolls on this morning. Temperatures are in the mid-40s. 42 is a normal low, so we're a little bit above that. It's that damp chill with all that humidity out there, and also there's a hint of a breeze. So in some spots there's a bit of a wind chill, not bad, but just enough to take that kind of damp cool and push it down the back of your neck. Temperatures will stay pretty steady for the next couple of hours. We'll have some of that fog and mist to deal with. The roads are damp, and then we'll see a little bit of sunshine thrown on in. Going to make it up to 55 today at noon, so we will be above yesterday's high temperature. We make it up into the upper 50s later on today. Not quite up to where we should be, and then this is going to be the same situation tomorrow. Okay, we've got to jump ahead. Here's Thursday morning. It's going to be a lot like this morning and tomorrow morning, 30s, 40s, maybe a little bit cooler. And then throughout the day, we're going to really warm up out ahead of this front. The front is obviously going to be moving through the hill country first of all, so temperatures, even by mid-afternoon, are already going to be hitting freezing in the hill country. And then by dinner time, early evening, we're going to be hitting freezing here in town, and that cold air will just continue to pile on in here. Plus, it is going to be windy late on Thursday, overnight into early Friday. As far as Friday morning, we're still looking at a low temperature of 18 here in town. 10 up in portions of the hill country, and all around the metropolitan area we've got those temperatures down in the teens. Now we are going to warm up most areas except up in the hill country. We'll get above freezing, but then also we're going to have to deal with the wind chill on Friday. That's going to be the thing that really makes you kind of stand up and take notice on Friday, is those wind chills down in single digits. Today 55 at noon, mostly cloudy skies. High temperature then is going to make it up to 58. Breezy conditions as well. We'll do pretty much the same thing tomorrow, and then we start off pretty much the same way on Thursday. By the way, winter begins officially in the mid-afternoon hours tomorrow, and then almost exactly 24 hours later is when that front moves on through here. Like I said, we're going to be in the mid-60s, dropping to freezing early evening, dinner time. That's here in town, and then 18 starting off on Friday, 23 Saturday, 25 on Christmas morning. But notice those temperatures will be well above freezing both Saturday as well as Sunday, and nothing but sunshine out there.
So nothing like February, no need to panic.
Nothing like February 2021, no.
Exactly.
All right, thank you, Mike. Right now, 4:53, 46 degrees.
Up next, find out why Hollywood director Steven Spielberg thinks sharks are mad at him. Plus, why it's been such a big week so far for SZA.
Another milestone for Mariah Carey. Plus, Steven Spielberg says he has some regrets about Jaws.
Interesting. For the latest on what's happening in Hollywood, here's ABC's Jason Nathanson.
Comfort in my sins, not about me.
SZA, setting records. The singer's new album, SOS, debuts with the biggest streaming week ever for an R&B project. That according to Billboard, where SOS tops the Billboard 200 album chart in its first week of release. It's SZA's first #1 album. SOS also had the second best streaming week of all time for a female artist, behind only Taylor Swift's debut of her latest album, Midnights. And a chart milestone for Mariah Carey. Her song, All I Want for Christmas Is You, snags its 10th overall week at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 singles chart. She's the first woman to have 3 songs top the chart for double-digit weeks. Director Steven Spielberg says he has some regrets when it comes to his 1975 classic film, Jaws. He tells the BBC show Desert Island Discs that the book and film contributed to the decimation of the shark shark population, sparking a feeding frenzy of crazy sport fishermen, something he says he really, truly regrets. He also says he's not afraid of being eaten by a shark, but he does worry sharks are mad at him. Billy Joel couldn't sing a song for audiences last night. He had to postpone his show at Madison Square Garden because he's sick. He says he has a viral infection and is under doctor's orders to rest. And happy birthday to Jonah Hill, the two-time Oscar nominee turning 39 today. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Los Angeles.
All right, time now is 4:57, 46 degrees.
Just ahead on GMSA, Uvalde School District was just audited on how well it keeps out intruders. Find out the results and what's being changed.
And if you don't have enough screens in your life already, we'll tell you more about this new keyboard with a special screen built into it. That's ahead in Tech Bites.
Well, it looks like we got through the first half hour of GMSA without any incidents on the roads. There's 37 at Houston Street, 37 at Hackberry. We'll check in with Stephen Cavazos coming up at the top of the hour.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
The amount of money we've been working with in district on all of these projects that we're going to outline is about $4.9 million.
Making changes in Uvalde, how a new audit is shining light on how Uvalde CISD is restructuring its safety and security for students.
And taking a live look outside at CityCam. Oh, you can barely see. If you can see this shot, there are tiny little dots over there. We will check in with Stephen Cavazos.
And good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday. It's December 20th, and Stephanie is now on Christmas vacation. So Courtney Friedman joins us this morning. Hi.
I feel so lucky to be here for the first time in almost about 4 years.
That's right. It's been quite a while, but she's jumped right back on that bike on the early morning show. Lacking sleep, but she's doing fine.
I don't even feel tired yet. Knock on wood.
Right.
Knock on wood.
All right. Mike Jones is now with a look at the forecast.
And a lot of fog to deal with this morning. We've got temperatures that are, well, actually on the warm side compared to normal, but it's that sort of damp chill out there. We're at 46 right now. The dew point, the bottom number right there, is at 45. So when those two numbers are neck and neck, you get those relative humidities up there in the mid upper 90s. A little bit of a breeze, but it's all that extra humidity and a lot of the moisture that we have in the ground from the rain yesterday that is contributing to some of this fog around here. Temperatures aren't going to be going all that much. We'll gain maybe 10, 12 degrees throughout the course of the day, getting into the upper 50s, slightly below normal later on this afternoon. The aquifer yesterday went up 0.2 of a foot, and the allergens, mold is on the low side. Of course, the updated count is going to be coming up later on this morning. And what's interesting, we were talking about how there's no mountain cedar showing up. We've seen little bits of it here and there, but it'll be interesting to see what happens to that mountain cedar count come Friday when that big front moves through on Thursday. First of all, visibility, quarter mile up there, Kerrville, half mile, Bernie Stage. It's improved slightly at the airport. Same thing at Port SA, and we're still at just 1.75 miles visibility there in Gonzales. And then we've got a lot more fog out here in toward Rock Springs. So we still have a dense fog advisory for the Hill Country up until 10 o'clock this morning, and that may be expanded. The Weather Service has indicated that they're just going to be monitoring the situation. This is going to be one of those cases where the fog is going to get thicker at times. And again, this is in effect up until 10 o'clock this morning. Now, as far as the weather story today, chilly, it's that damp chill and a little bit of mist, a little bit of fog. I had a little bit of mist on the windshield this morning, and it wasn't all that much, but just enough, obviously, to keep the roads kind of damp. And then today and tomorrow, pretty much the same thing. We'll be starting off a little bit of mist, fog around the area tomorrow, and then make it to the upper 50s, mostly cloudy skies. We are going to be somewhat on the breezy side later on today. Then on Thursday, we'll start off about the same, right around the 40s, and it's going to be warm early afternoon. It'll be the warmest day this week when we're going to make it up into the mid 60s here in town. Now, it's not going to get anywhere near that warm up in the Hill Country because that front will move through obviously sooner, and then it's going to be coming through here in town early afternoon. And so once that front moves through, the wind shifts around, becomes very breezy, and we'll be down right around freezing by dinner time on Thursday evening. Then we are going to be getting into Christmas weekend. Friday morning is going to be extremely cold. We'll be down in the teens. We are going to have wind chills that are going to be in the single digits, and we will make it right above freezing then by Friday afternoon. Then by the weekend, we're going to have some cold mornings, freezing mornings, but will make it well above freezing by the evening. We're going to get this all sorted out in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Stephen Cavazos, good morning, sir. What's going on?
Well, Mike, good morning to you. This is the kind of morning that we were really expecting yesterday. There's some quiet roadways, but of course fog to be on the lookout for, as you mentioned. But, although the roads are quiet, we want to make sure that you give yourself plenty of time this morning. There's still several active road closures that are taking place at least up until Christmas break. We're going to get to that in a little bit, but some of those dots that Courtney was talking about, you can catch them right there on the Trans Guide, at least a clearer picture. Those vehicles may be making their way out of town and getting ready to celebrate the holidays. But let's get you to the map, because there is not really a whole lot to show you out there, so it's great news, but still make sure that you keep in mind we still have fog in the area that you want to be on the lookout for. All right, travel times. If your destination is the Alamo City, that journey from Bernie, 24 minutes on I-10 East. Right now, 281 southbound, no need to hurry if you're coming in from Boulevardy, 27 minutes in those southbound lanes of 281. And right now, not too awful from New Braunfels, 27 on I-35 southbound. So things are still in the green and things are still very quiet on the roadways, but it is early, so things could always change as more vehicles get out and get the commute started early. But we're going to be keeping a close eye on things throughout the morning. Mark, Courtney.
Thank you so much, Stephen. Well, with below freezing temperatures on the way, the city of San Antonio is doing what it can right now to keep the lights on and the unsheltered warm. CPS Energy says it's strengthened the resiliency of its power plants with winterization initiatives. The city is also preparing warming centers. 7 warming centers will open Thursday starting at 3 p.m. Anyone going to the center should take clothes, supplies, and medicine. There will also be kennels available at Normoil, Southside Lions, and Garza centers.
San Antonio Water System also reminding customers to be ready for the colder weather. SAS is winterized their facilities and will have staff working 24/7 throughout the city to respond to any potential challenges. Said customers still need to take precautions to protect faucets and pipes. Local hardware stores have foam insulation and faucet protectors, but even wrapping pipes with rags or old newspapers can help out. Also, SAW says customers can store tap water in clean, large containers in case of outages. SAW has tutorials on how to turn your water off at the meter in case your pipes do freeze. Well, in Uvalde, the school district was just audited on how well it keeps out intruders. This comes nearly 7 months after the shooting at Robb Elementary.
And Lee Waldman was at the school board meeting where safety and security were, of course, top of mind.
The amount of money we've been working with in district on all of these projects that we're going to outline is about $4.9 million.
Almost $5 million in grants and funding spent by Uvalde's CISD on safety and security changes. Money spent on fencing, police department equipment upgrades, cameras, doors, and salaries. But the work isn't done yet.
0% completion because those have been back ordered. We run into supply chain issues, materials issues.
Interim Superintendent Gary Patterson explained the effort to install secured vestibules on all campuses is currently on hold.
Those bullet-resistant materials are difficult to get right now, and that's why the vestibules have been delayed.
Monday, we learned the district was subject to an intruder detection audit mandated by Governor Greg Abbott. All of the exterior doors were locked. However, an intruder was able to get into one campus's cafeteria because the door didn't latch. A staff member reported the intruder shortly after.
The delivery of goods into loading docks was just something, quite honestly, that I overlooked. But I won't overlook the next time.
Patterson reiterated the district is in the process of hiring a new police force that will have active shooter training. Berlinda Areola, grandmother to victim Amory Jo Garza, asked that the state troopers on campus pay better attention during their patrol. She shared this picture of an officer sitting on his phone.
Now, I know that an audit or whatever you want to call it was done, and I know one of the schools, somebody just walked right in, and this is probably why, because they're not paying attention to our students.
Patterson talked about a security center where all of the cameras installed on campuses can be monitored in one place. He says nothing like that existed here before, so they're in the process of building it. The next time the board meets will be in January of 2023. In Uvalde, Lee Waldman for GMSA.
Well, today marks 1 year since the disappearance of Lena Keel. The 3-year-old was last seen at her apartment complex on Fredericksburg and Blue Mill Road. Leaders with the Islamic Center of San Antonio were at one point offering $250,000 in rewards for information. Parents who live in the complex say they are still fearful and overprotective of their children. SAPD and the FBI continue to actively work on this case. Call the Missing Persons Unit if you have any information.
The House Select Committee investigating the riot at the U.S. Capitol has unanimously voted to make multiple criminal referrals to the Justice Department over former President Trump's efforts to overturn the 2020 election. In a new summary, the committee labeled Trump as the central cause of the attack and listed 4 charges they recommend be brought against him. The Justice Department is not obligated to act on such referrals to charge Trump or even acknowledge them, but the public hearings are meant to put pressure on Attorney General Merrick Garland to bring criminal charges against Trump, which would be the first in history against a former president. Trump fired back last night, calling the investigation a partisan attempt to sideline him and the Republican Party.
Well, doctors are urging Americans to put heart health at the top of their holiday to-do list. That's because more people die from heart attacks between December 25th and January 1st compared to any other week of the year, with Christmas being the deadliest day of all. Doctors say the leading factors include family stress, falling out of good habits like healthy eating, drinking more alcohol than normal can also result in what doctors call holiday heart syndrome. That's when binge drinking causes irregular heartbeats, which are associated with a higher risk for stroke. Another major concern is lack of sleep during the holiday rush.
Right now, 5:10, 46 degrees.
All right, doctors are often known for their impeccable handwriting skills, right? Not so much. How Google is working on a new tool that will be able to translate those doctors' scribbles.
That makes sense. And up next, you can still get those packages to loved ones in time for Christmas, but it's going to cost you a little more. We'll tell you when the deadline is and how San Antonio post offices are adjusting to the high holiday demand.
And taking a look outside with live cam. Oh, the fog's cleared up a little bit in this picture, but obviously we've got some of that, and Mike will tell us when that will be sticking around.
5:14 right now, of course, is the busiest time of the year for the U.S. Postal Service, and time is running out if you want to make your presents arrive by Christmas Day.
Yeah, right now, packaging and processing centers here in San Antonio are processing more than 300,000 items every single day. That's to prepare for the extra demand. The Postal Service has added processing equipment and about 170 employees just here locally, and it seems like all that help is truly needed.
Nothing compared. This month is just crazy. Like during the year, we just work 6-8 hours. Sometimes we get to go home at 4 hours because there's not much, especially on Sundays. And right now it's been crazy. The belts are full.
If you still need to get a gift to a loved one by Christmas Day, you can still do so with shipping with Priority Mail Express. The deadline for that is Friday, but it will cost you extra depending on the size of the package and the distance it has to travel.
I was at a UPS store recently, and I think a guy was returning a jacket for his wife, and he's like, I want to return this. Because when you walk into a UPS store now, they're like, Amazon return automatically.
Automatically, yes.
So I guess he had the barcode from Amazon, but they said, oh, this is actually going to return directly to China, and it's going to be like $300.
Oh my God.
He said you might want to contact Amazon again and figure out a better way to do this return.
Or just maybe give the jacket as a gift.
Exactly.
I don't know if it's worth it.
5:15, 46 degrees.
All right, still ahead of first, look at Instagram's new template to create your own 2022 recap reel.
And we'll show you this crazy new keyboard with a screen built into it.
What will you do? What will you change? Will you make something better? Will you create something entirely new? Our Dell Technologies advisors provide you with the tools and expertise you need to do incredible things. Because we believe there's an innovator in all of us.
This cough.
This will help.
Vicks Vapor Rub?
Vicks Vapor Rub's medicated vapors go straight to the source of your cough, so you can relieve your cough to breathe easier. Vicks Vapor Rub, fast-acting cough relief.
With Gold Bond, you can age on your own terms.
New Retinol Overnight means the smoothing benefits of retinol are now for your whole body. Plus, fast-working crepe corrector diminishes wrinkled skin in just 2 days. Gold Bond, champion your skin.
In today's Tech Bites, Instagram's 2022 recap. Users can select the new Reels template and choose 14 photos and videos to share again. You can even add narration from several popular artists. The template will be available into early 2023. Doctors have notoriously sloppy penmanship. Now help may be on the way for those struggling to read it. Google is working with pharmacists to come up with technology to decipher your doctor's bad handwriting. The idea is to upload a picture of a prescription to recognize medications that are then translated into legible text. And check out a new look keyboard. It's transparent, and inside there's a screen. It's made by Final Mouse, the company known for gaming products, and it's made what it calls a laminated display circuit glass stack. It's set to be available early next year and will cost about $350. You know where keyboards spend New Year's Eve? At the Space Bar. Those are your Tech Bites.
Told you.
Yeah, yeah.
Scale of 1 to 10.
I mean, it's higher. It's higher for me. And you know, I love my pens.
But more to the point, you can't stand the idea of that keyboard. I mean,
No,
it's
that
already
keyboard was even just the T's, it was giving me a headache.
Yeah.
It's like, stop it.
Well, in that one, I mean, I kind of need to see the keys. I mean, it was just reacting to as he was pressing.
Right.
I mean, it looks cool.
That would make me learn better to type without having to look.
I guess it would force you to do that.
Good point.
All right, let's talk traffic with Stephen.
Well, we know a lot of people have to look out on the roadways because we have some of that fog that we've been talking about throughout the morning. But let's get a wider look now. I'm actually jumping a little too far ahead here. So let's give me just a second so I can wake up my system because it still needs some coffee. But before we get to all of that, the TransGuide cameras, we do have some striping work taking place. I was just actually updating this information. It's along State Highway 46 right there in Comal County. Now, keep in mind, this has actually been current. Should wrap on Thursday, December 22nd. And again, that is overnight. So make sure you late night owls, early bird commuters, that you can plan your commute ahead of time. Now, this will see some alternating lane closures in both directions right there from Bentwood Drive to Fair Hills Drive. But that information is on our website, ksat.com/traffic. There we go. We got it moving a little bit better now. So as we get you to the TransGuide cameras, yeah, we've been seeing a lot more of that fog there. 281 at San Pedro doesn't look too bad, but the commute has been moving without any trouble so far. Mike Osterhage. Yeah.
Oh, it's thicker, so it's just about very, very patchy, and then there's a lot of mist out there as well. Nice picture of her grandcat's socks, first Christmas sweater and tree. I wonder how the tree was doing right after this picture was taken, though, so whap.
Crash.
Yeah. I love the pictures of the cats in the tree. So thank you very much for the KSAT Connect shot. All right, this view has actually improved from earlier this morning. Visibility out there at the airport has gone up ever so slightly. Okay, yes, it is going to get extremely cold this weekend, and a lot of people keep thinking, is this going to be a repeat of February 2021? No, it is not. So we had 107 hours officially below freezing. It may be 48 at best. Still forecast to get just above freezing on Friday here in town. Now in the hill country, yes, it is going to stay cooler, but it will be 2 days, 48 hours at most with consistently below freezing, and that would include the hill country. Ice, snow, all that. No, it's nothing but sunshine this time around this weekend. And as far as the cold, yeah, at one point it did get down tonight. Now we are going to have wind chills down in the single digits, but the coldest is going to be 18 degrees, and that's going to be on Friday morning. So yes, it will be very cold. It is not going to be a repeat of what we had almost 2 years ago now. Half-mile visibility burning stage, 2 at the airport, 3 at Port SA. So it's dropped back down a little bit, and more fog out there in the hill country, Kerrville in toward Rock Springs, Del Rio, and a little bit over there around Gonzales. So if you're going down 35 and especially heading out toward the hill country where the thickest fog is, that's where the dense fog advisory is up until 10 o'clock this morning. So we are at 46 right now in town, mid-40s around the area. Temperatures won't be moving thanks to the cloud cover, the high humidity, as well as some of that mist out there, by the way, so roads are going to be damp. We'll see a little bit of sunshine thrown on in, mid-50s at noon, and then upper 50s for a high temperature later on today. So as far as the humidity, which relative to the temperature is very high, once that front moves through, we are going to have some of the driest air we ever see around here with negative numbers for these dew points. So you're actually going to be able to feel it on your skin how dry that air is. And as of right now, there's the leading edge of the Arctic air, 21 below in Cut Bank, Montana. That's what's going to be sliding down in our direction. Look at that. Fort Nelson is 45 degrees below zero as of right now. So that's that cold batch of air. Now, the heart of that is going to be staying up in and around the Great Lakes, but we will get obviously a nice shot of it. 55 today at noon, mostly cloudy cloudy skies. High temperature then makes it up to 58 today. A little bit of sunshine. It's also going to be breezy today. Pretty much cut and paste tomorrow. About the same situation. Going to start off in the 40s. Upper 50s, so it will be slightly on the cool side. And of course, winter officially begins, the winter solstice, tomorrow afternoon, just before 4 o'clock. And Thursday, very warm, mid 60s. Don't let that fool you, because we'll be down right around freezing. Mid 60s is going to be early afternoon, freezing by dinner time. 18 Friday, wind chills single digits, and then 23 Saturday, 25 Sunday morning, and right around freezing Monday morning.
Okay, all right.
Don't say we didn't warn you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, while you were doing your weathercast, we got to reports of a notable 6.4 magnitude earthquake in Northern California. No reports of any injuries. We just wanted to pass that along to you. 524 right now, 46 degrees.
Up next, a female ensemble heads to Italy in an upcoming comedy. Plus, your first look at Christopher Nolan's latest epic.
The all-star cast of Book Club heads to Europe in the upcoming sequel, and we have your first look.
Here's CNN's Rick Damigella with the Hollywood Minute.
The book says we can't reject our destiny, and I think we should all go to Italy.
Diane Keaton, Jane Fonda, Candice Bergen, and Mary Steenburgen reunite for a sequel to their hit 2018 comedy Book Club. And this time, the women are heading to Italy. Here's your first look at Book Club: The Next Chapter, which is set to hit theaters May 12th. The National Association of Music Merchants Foundation and the Make Music Alliance are hosting a series of free parades, concerts, and workshops across the nation entitled Make Music Winter. The events take place this Wednesday to celebrate the winter solstice. More information can be found at makemusicday.org.
They won't fear it until they understand it.
Christopher Nolan makes an explosive return with Oppenheimer. The acclaimed director's latest feature follows Manhattan Project mastermind J. Robert Oppenheimer as he develops the atomic bomb. Cillian Murphy stars in the thriller, which arrives on July 21st. In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
They won't.
Look it up. It's got an amazing cast as well.
Yeah, all the people. I'm going to have to see that immediately.
529, 46 degrees.
It is now time to sentence former Hollywood producer Harvey Weinstein. Why some legal analysts say the conclusion of this case is important for women across the nation.
And some folks are planning to add a furry new companion to their family this holiday season. It also means scammers are looking for ways to take your money. How you can avoid their traps? Coming up.
Even if the New York conviction remains intact, the women whom Harvey Weinstein victimized in Southern California deserved to have their day in court.
A big day for disgraced movie producer Harvey Weinstein. We'll tell you about the sentence he faces today in a Los Angeles courtroom.
Taking a live look outside with live cam. Foggy, cold morning. We're going to hear when this fog might lift with Mike Osterhage.
And good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday. It is December 20th. Courtney's in today, which is nice, and we'll talk to Stephen in just one moment.
Yeah, but Mike, that fog.
Well, and it depends on where you are, because out by the airport, it's not as bad, but you head out 10 up into the hill country, and that's where it is thicker. Dense fog advisory. Show you that in just a couple of moments. First of all, as you can see, there's the shot by the airport, which has actually improved since we went on the air an hour ago. Temperature still stands in the mid 40s, dew point 45. So when those two numbers are neck and neck, you get the really, really high humidity, light or no wind, and that's why we are dealing with some of the fog. And a lot of this is also due to the fact that we had some of that rain yesterday, so it's the moisture in the ground. And like I was talking about, you go out 10, burning stage, half mile, quarter mile visibility now at Kerrville. Not bad going out 90, and a little bit up around New Braunfels, but the thicker fog, again, is pretty much confined out in portions of the hill country, and that's where that dense fog advisory is up until 10 o'clock this morning. So it will be obviously on the stubborn side, and there's a little bit of mist out there as well. I had some coming into work this morning, so the road's going to be just damp, so just kind of, take it easy. Mold is on the low side, and throughout the rest of the morning, well, as is typical, temperatures aren't really going to be moving all that much. Mist, and that's why there's that percentage in there just for a little bit of mist around some of that fog. And then we'll see a bit of sunshine later on this afternoon. 55 at noon. We top off at 58 later on today. So we are going to be on the cool side compared to normal, which is mid 60s as of right now. Not bad, warmer than yesterday. Pretty much take this forecast and then cut and paste into tomorrow. Thursday is the big transition day. We're going to talk about that when that front arrives, how cold it is going to get, and it's going to be really darn cold. That and the forecast for Christmas coming up in a couple of moments. Traffic Authority, any problems out there, Stephen?
Not just yet, Mike, but I was combing through some of those cameras along I-10. We can definitely catch a little bit more of that fog that you were talking about. But back here in town, 37 at Houston doesn't look too bad. 37 at Cesar Chavez. We have a little bit more traffic at this half hour, and that usually happens as we inch closer and closer to 6 a.m. But here's the thing. A lot of folks are maybe staying home for the holidays, or maybe the kiddos are staying home, getting to sleep in. So hopefully that will help reduce some of the congestion we'll see a little bit later, and hopefully reduce any of the potential problems. But right now, fog seems to be the main headline on the roadways right now. So you can see a lot of that in the TransGuide cameras. If you're driving in the city, make sure to use those low beams. Now, right behind me, just a lot of green out there. So we can still take advantage of these empty roadways and maybe go grab a cup of coffee if it tickles your fancy here. But let's go ahead and talk about the travel times here to the Alamo City, because even if you're going to head to San Antonio, you still have plenty of time. You're in the green there on I-10 from Seguin, 29 minutes in those westbound lanes. A little more than half an hour for our friends in Lavernia on 87 northbound. And right now for our friends down in Floresville, 28 minutes to the Alamo City. So again, no need to rush, and we'll get you back here on TransGuide. 90 at Nogalitos, we got a little bit more traffic that's picking up there, but there at 90 at Loop 1604, it's pretty dark, and obviously we're catching a little bit more of that fog. We'll keep a close eye on things throughout the morning, but as always, make sure you do the same. Mark Court.
Thank you, Stephen. This morning, sentencing is the next step after Harvey Weinstein's rape conviction in Los Angeles.
The disgraced movie producer already in prison for similar crimes in New York. So as CNN's Amy Kiley explains, his LA sentence could prove critical.
The jury is saying, yes, we believe her.
The Los Angeles jury that convicted Harvey Weinstein of rape is moving on to sentencing. The LA County District Attorney's Office says the panel reconvenes today to hear about aggravating factors. Those could determine the outcome of the sentencing hearing. Weinstein could face up to 24 years in prison.
It's really more of a backstop than anything.
He's already serving 23 years for a similar conviction in New York in 2020. But that state's highest court has agreed to hear his appeal.
They don't have to take that. That's not an appeal as of right. So that suggests that there are some reasonably significant appellate issues in the New York case.
Even if the New York conviction remains intact, the women whom Harvey Weinstein victimized in Southern California deserved to have their day in court.
The LA jury convicted Weinstein of 3 out of 7 charges. They relate to just one of his accusers. An attorney representing another says each woman contributed to justice.
Breaking through their fear of what could happen to them if they spoke out against Mr. Weinstein has been a transformative experience.
As for the conviction,
they believe her, and I think that's really important for women across the nation and across the world.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Well, cases against Alex Jones here in Texas and in Connecticut can now proceed to the appellate level. A federal judge has lifted an automatic stay that had been placed in Jones's bankruptcy case. That stay prevented judgments from being entered and appeals from being filed. Jones's attorney says he hoped to settle with the plaintiffs' families in bankruptcy court, but the parties agreed to instead see the litigation through to the appellate route. The InfoWars host was present for the hearing via video but did not speak. Jones has been ordered to pay $1.4 billion to the families of the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting victims. A bankruptcy hearing is scheduled for January 20th.
The U.S. Food and Drug Administration's tobacco program needs some more work. That's according to an independent panel of experts who found numerous wide-ranging problems. It says those problems are hindering the agency's ability to regulate the industry and reduce tobacco-related disease and death. It comes after the FDA commissioner requested the review in July, anticipating issues resulting from an ever-growing number of tobacco products. An update on next steps is expected by early February.
The New York City Police Department arrested a woman for burglarizing actor Robert De Niro's Manhattan townhouse Monday. 30-year-old Shanice Aviles was spotted entering De Niro's home on the Upper East Side around 2:45 Monday morning. Aviles is accused of bagging up the actor's presents under his Christmas tree. Nearby officers spotted her and knew her as a serial burglary suspect with 26 prior arrests. Police actually took her to custody without realizing she was robbing the famous actor's home. Investigators say there was no interaction between De Niro and the suspected thief.
Oh, all the Christmas presents. What a Grinch.
5:39, 46 degrees.
Be extra careful. If a pet is on your wish list this year, financial losses from pet scams are expected to approach $2 million this year. We'll tell you what to look out for.
Outside with live cam. All right, we've been talking about it now for several days, so plenty of time for everybody to get those pipes wrapped and those faucets covered and get ready to bring those pets in and get the plants covered. We'll have much more on the deep freeze headed for South Texas with Mike Osterhage coming up. Well, this holiday season, the Better Business Bureau and animal rescue groups are warning of scammers trying to take advantage of people looking to give pets as holiday gifts.
CNN's Jen Sullivan has the 5 things to consider if a furry new companion is on your wish list.
Think twice before you buy a pet for your loved one this holiday season. The Better Business Bureau and animal rescue groups are issuing warnings about pet scams. And according to the BBB, financial losses from pet scams are expected to approach $2 million this year.
Unscrupulous breeders have gotten pretty good at trying to dupe the public into thinking that they're adopting an animal when they're in actuality buying from a puppy mill.
Holly Sizemore from Best Friends Animal Society has these 5 things to consider before purchasing a new furry addition to your family. 1. Avoid online fraud. Many listings could be fake, and you could be paying for a pet that doesn't exist. So meet your new pet in person before exchanging any money. 2. Know the years-long commitment, both with time and the cost of owning a pet.
Basic costs such as food, toys, enrichment, those are all important necessities for pets. Pets can be affordable, but it is a cost that you need to anticipate and budget.
3. Get the animal's health checked. Sizemore says dogs sold online often come from puppy mills and suffer from health issues due to poor living conditions and inbreeding. 4. Make the sustainable choice. Consider saving a life by adopting from a local shelter or rescue group. And finally, consider giving the experience of picking out a pet instead of picking it out yourself.
That is a great way to bring the joy of a new pet into the house during the holidays and allow the pet parent to choose the pet that best meets their lifestyle.
For today's Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
5:43, 46 degrees.
Up next, why both CVS and Walgreens are limiting the amount of children's pain relief medications you can buy right now. In your morning consumer headlines, the outbreak of respiratory viruses affecting kids across the nation is causing a run of some children's medicines. 2 of the country's biggest pharmacy chains, CVS and Walgreens, have responded. For now, they'll limit purchases of children's pain relief products. Walgreens will allow 6 over-the-counter purchases. CVS will allow customers to buy just 2 pain relief products, either online or in person. CVS says it also is working with its suppliers to meet the demand.
Lab-grown meat may be closer to your dinner plate than you think. A recent sampling from one product from a British startup, IV Farm Technologies, revealed what the so-called cultivated meat tastes like. The meatballs were described as savory and full of flavor, but a bit smaller than your average meatball. The company is one of multiple companies raising billions of dollars to reproduce animal cells in a laboratory. Last month, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration said for the first time that a lab-grown meat product is safe to eat.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm
going to let other people try it first.
Okay, deal. 5:47, let's check on traffic with Steven Cavazos.
Yeah, not me. But I do make some pretty good meatballs while we're on the topic of that. So just throwing that out there, guys.
Bring them in.
All right, I will one of these days. But let's get a look at what's happening today on the roadways, because if you have to make a trip to the grocery store, not sure what's open right now, but thankfully you're not really going to see any delays. It has been a quiet start to our morning despite some of the fog we've been catching. Check out 1604 at Valley Meadow. Just a few folks out there, almost looks like UFOs out on the roadway, but obviously we are seeing some of that fog there along 1604 at Wiseman as well. So just make sure you drive carefully throughout the morning. Mike told us that we were catching a little bit more of that along I-10 a little bit further up. But right here on the map, we're really just catching a lot of that green, which is great, which means it's a perfect time to take advantage of these roadways, but be on the lookout. We still have road closures that are taking place, and Loop 1604 on the northeast side, striping and barrier work is actually still going to continue up until tomorrow, December 21st. Begins overnight, so we have a lot of overnight work. So late night owls, early bird commuters, 9 in the evening to 5 in the morning is when you will see alternating lane closures on the main lanes of Loop 1604 eastbound right there from Nacogdoches Road to all the way to 35. I know that's a lot of information on your screen right now, but the best thing you can do, head over to our website, ksat.com/traffic. There's a full list of closures there, and you can plan your commute ahead of time. But let's get it back here. The commute on TransGuide, 90 at Loop 1604, 37 at Fair Avenue. It's been a nice start to our morning. Yesterday was a yucky one on the roadways. I wouldn't say this is as yucky as what we saw yesterday. Personally.
The good news is the traffic is still. I just saw the Alamo Dome lit up in some ways. I didn't think it was lit up for Christmas. There's some like Christmas tree type lights on the side of the Alamo Dome this year.
I haven't noticed that before.
All right, so a lot of times on this show in particular, we feature pictures of some truly pampered pets.
Oh.
I don't know if this guy's pampered or just taking it easy.
Living his best life. How about that?
Preparing for the cold nights by getting that bed warmed up.
Nicholas.
That
He's
is
just sawing logs
He's
there.
like a lesson on
adorable,
how to chill.
can we call him St. Nicholas?
Oh. Let sleeping dogs lie. So we'll be quiet.
He's a cutie.
Thank you for the KSAT Connect picture. And yeah, don't forget about the pets this weekend, because we're going to have some really cold temperatures. Not only Friday morning, that's going to be the coldest, but also we'll be down below freezing Saturday, Sunday, close to it again on Monday. And afternoon temperatures, albeit above freezing, are still going to be on the cool side. All right, out there by the airport, there's the glow around the streetlights that Stephen was talking about. Visibility, though, off in the distance has improved from earlier this morning. Still being reported at 2 miles, and same thing Bernie State. So that has come up a little bit. Kerrville at a half mile, 2 at Castroville, 3 Port SA. So it almost looks like it's maybe wanting to thicken up a little bit. And also visibility has dropped somewhat at New Braunfels. Out in Rock Springs, half mile, same thing, Del Rio, as well as Fredericksburg. And once again, the dense fog advisory is limited to the hill country, going out I-10 and out in toward Rock Springs up until 10 o'clock this morning. So it is going to be somewhat on the stubborn side, fog and that little bit of mist out there on the roads. And these temperatures have not moved and will not be moving that much throughout the rest of the morning, if at all. We're just a few degrees above normal right now. There's a hint of a breeze, so 43 is what it feels like in town. Not a big wind chill, but just enough to sneak down the back of your neck. Now, wind chills going in toward Friday morning are going to be just ridiculous. So here's what's going to be going on. Jumping ahead to Thursday morning, it'll be a lot like this morning, a lot like tomorrow morning. Temperatures are going to be in the 30s and 40s, and then we are going to warm up into the 60s. Now, this is going to be early in the afternoon. The front is going to be moving on through here about mid-afternoon here in town. Obviously, sooner in the hill country, and even by mid-afternoon, portions of the hill country are going to be below freezing, and then we will continue to drop down, freezing by about dinner time, and then as we go in toward, and that's just midnight Friday morning, we are going to be down in the 20s and then continue obviously down from there, bottom out at 18, and that'll be the situation all around the metropolitan area, but we will get slightly above freezing. Only a couple of spots are forecast to be staying below freezing by Friday afternoon, and then yes, it will be, like I said, freezing by Saturday morning, Sunday morning, Monday, but we are going to get well above freezing those days the rest of the weekend. 55 degrees today at noon, mostly cloudy skies, and then a high temperature up to 58. Breezy as well this afternoon. Then tomorrow, like I said, pretty much copy of today. Winter begins in the afternoon. 24 hours later, approximately, it will feel like winter. That front moves through mid-afternoon here in town, earlier in the hill country on Thursday. Here in town will be up to 65. And then Friday morning down to 18. Wind chills are going to be single digits. We'll make it up to 35. So it'll be cold, but it's going to be gorgeous. I mean, with the bone dry air in place, the blue skies are going to be spectacular this weekend.
It's like the actual winter weather that we want.
Mm-hmm.
Real winter.
Yep. Winter.
No snow.
No snow.
No snow. Thank goodness. 5:53, 46 degrees.
11 years after Puss in Boots starred in his first feature film, The Whiskered Outlaw is back for a sequel. We'll have a special first look next.
I am Puss in Boots. I laugh at death.
The swashbuckling feline, voiced by Antonio Banderas, gets some catastrophic news in Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
Suddenly, he discovered that out of his 9 lives, 8 of them has been just wasted. Legend tells of a wishing star, of a simple wish waiting to be granted. Kittysoft boss, I need your help.
Is the great Puss in Boots asking for help?
Well, you see, get it, please. That wish will get me my lives back.
His ensuing quest, of course there's a quest, is fueled by more introspection than usual for the courageous cat.
I saw the very deep, complex reflections, almost existentialist reflections of the character, a character that has been always, out there, bigger than life, heroic, arrogant, all of those adjectives. Without life to spare, I am nothing.
When you only have one life, that's what makes it special.
More than talking about death, at the end, what we are talking is about life. It's about the value of that supreme thing called life, that actually, after the pandemic and everything that has been going on in the world, we have to put an accent on that again.
Cool! Another member of the team! I'm Puss's therapy dog!
Definitely not!
Finally! You need therapy.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Right now at KSAT.com, some local talent taking the top prize this holiday season. A fourth grade student in Northeast Independent School District won this year's Regional Holiday Card Art Contest. You can take a closer look at the winning card featuring Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer, on KSAT.com. Ahead in the next hour of GMSA, as the colder weather approaches our area, your electric bill could skyrocket. Ahead on GMSA, some ways to keep yourself warm without going broke. And checking TransGuide right now, light traffic all around the city. We've had some fog to deal with this morning. We'll get an update coming up in a matter of minutes.
Ahead this hour, San Antonio police left with questions after a shooting last night just south of San Antonio. We'll tell you what officers know so far.
Former President Donald Trump responds to the January 6th committee's move to urge the Justice Department to criminally prosecute him. I'm ABC's Faith Abube in Washington. Details coming up.
Go Spurs go. The Silver and Black get a win against the Rockets. We've got highlights from the road game, and we'll get you ready for their next matchup.
And taking a look outside with live cam, foggy, foggy, foggy to start your day. We'll get all the details about when the fog will lift and the cold front coming through with Mike Osterhage.
Live from KSAT 12. Good morning, San Antonio starts right now.
And good morning to you. It is Tuesday. It is December 20th. Do not adjust your set. It is not a weekend night. Courtney Friedman in for Stephanie Cerna this morning. Hi.
It's so great to be here. If you were with us earlier, you know it's been almost like about 4 years since I've anchored the morning show, right. And I've been saying all morning like nothing's changed.
Not at
Nothing's
all.
changed.
Wait, is that a good thing or well? Let's move
yes,
on. Okay,
it's a good thing.
We're glad you're here,
you
Courtney.
And I haven't aged in 4 years.
That's what it means. It means it looks like a filter, but it's not.
Excellent save.
Thank you.
That's our story, and we're sticking to it. So,
wink.
Talking about that fog, and it depends on what part of town you're in, because that one camera over there, 410, was very foggy. This one is not as foggy. I mean, there is some off in the distance, but it's actually improved slightly from earlier this morning. Visibility, though, is still being reported at 2 miles to Burning Stage, half mile up there in Kerrville, and we're starting to see some thicker fog going on 90, as well as heading down to the southeast, and New Braunfels has dropped ever so slightly. Rock Springs has now come back up, but then you got a lot of fog around Fredericksburg and over there by Del Rio. So it's not obviously everywhere, but you just got to be on the lookout for it to get thicker at times. Dense fog advisory is just confined to the hill country, and that's in effect up until 10 o'clock. So this will be sticking around in places throughout the rest of the morning commute. There's also a little bit of mist out there, that very, very fine mist. So the roads are on the damp side. Mold is low. The updated count's going to come out in about an hour and a half. Temperatures with all this very high humidity, with all the cloud cover, aren't going to be moving this morning at all. And then as we go into later on this afternoon, we'll see a little bit of sunshine thrown on in there. Temperatures will make it to the mid 50s at noon and top off in the upper 50s. So we will be on a little bit on the cool side compared to normal, and the breeze is going to be picking up out of the northeast, 10 to 20 miles per hour. Pretty much same thing tomorrow. A little fog in the morning, upper 50s, and we'll start off about what you'd expect, or what we're going to be seeing the next couple of mornings, as well as on Thursday. We get warmer on Thursday, then that big front moves on through, and boy, the bottom's going to drop out. Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Stephen, what's up?
Not a whole lot, Mike, and that's a good thing. Check out 37. This is what Mark was mentioning earlier. The Alamo Dome lit up for Christmas. Let's give you a wide look at TransGuide now. Traffic there along 37, not too bad this early in the morning. 6 a.m., we may be seeing a few more folks out there, and if you were traveling along along 37 southbound or northbound, just keep your focus, but off to the side of you, you'll have a nice shot of the Alamo Dome right there. So a great way to start the holidays. As we know, a lot of folks are off today. Some still have to head out of town, or maybe some have to head to work. This is what you can expect right now. Just some quiet roadways, a lot of great. Keep a close eye on things throughout. Go ahead and get you to these travel times here, because if your destination is the Alamo City, 37 northbound looks pretty pleasant from Pleasanton, 28 this hour. Right now, Highway 90, it's about 30 minutes to the Alamo City, and your arrival from Lytle, 16 minutes on I-35 northbound. But let's get you back here on Transguide 37 at Cesar Chavez. We're not really seeing a whole lot out there this morning, but we expect to see the commute just get a little bit busier. We'll keep a close eye on things. Mark, Courtney.
Stephen, thank you. This morning, Bexar County deputies say a woman was shot and assaulted while being cornered in her own driveway by suspects in two vehicles that pulled up behind her. Happened south of San Antonio near Highway 16 and Kings Row. Right now, the woman's in the hospital with a gunshot wound to the arm. It's still unclear what led up to the shooting or whether anyone has been arrested.
All right, this just into our newsroom. Reports of an earthquake off the coast of Northern California. Officials say the 6.4 quake struck not too far away from the town of Ferndale, which is just northwest of Sacramento. Right now, there are no reports of any injuries, but we'll stay with this story and update you as soon as our updates come in. In other news, we turn now to Washington, where all eyes are on the Justice Department.
The House January 6th Select Committee voted unanimously asking them to prosecute former President Donald Trump for his actions surrounding the attack on the U.S. Capitol.
The panel recommended Trump be charged with breaking multiple criminal statutes, including inciting an insurrection. ABC's Faith Abube explains.
This morning, the fallout continues after that decisive move by the House January 6 Select Committee. The panel wrapping up its sweeping 18-month-long investigation by issuing 4 unprecedented criminal referrals against a former president, urging the Justice Department to prosecute former President Donald Trump for a multi-part conspiracy, obstructing an official proceeding, conspiracy to defraud the United States, conspiracy to make a false statement, and inciting an insurrection.
It was with solemnity and sadness that the facts led to criminal referrals for the former president of the United States.
The panel, made up of 2 Republicans and 7 Democrats, using a video montage to highlight some of the most damning evidence they uncovered against Trump. From lies about the 2020 election to sworn testimony from his own allies, alleging for 187 minutes, Trump ignored urgent calls to stop the January 6 violence.
No man who would behave that way at that moment in time can ever serve in any position of authority in our nation again.
Some of the Capitol police officers who fended off the angry mob in the room.
I agree with all the referrals, and I think he needs to be held accountable.
In a social media statement, Trump defending his actions, saying the committee's move only strengthens him, adding, quote, "What doesn't kill me makes me stronger." Former Vice President Mike Pence, himself a target of the mob on January 6, telling Fox News,
"I think that would be terribly divisive in the country at a time when the American people want to see us heal."
And the January 6th committee also referred Trump's election attorney John Eastman and others for criminal prosecution. It's also urging a congressional ethics investigation against 4 GOP congressmen who ignored lawfully issued subpoenas from the committee. A full report will be released tomorrow. In Washington, Faith Abube, ABC News.
Topping your morning consumer headlines, the back and forth in the Bahamas over the future of Sam Bankman-Fried, founder of the failed cryptocurrency exchange FTX, appears to be resolved. Sources now tell ABC News he has agreed to be extradited back to the U.S. to face fraud charges after initially saying no in court on Monday. Stocks took a slide the last Monday before Christmas. The Nasdaq closing down 1.5%, the S&P closing down 0.9%, and the Dow closing down 0.5%. The Wall Street Journal says concerns about higher interest rates and COVID in China are weighing on traders. Inflation not stopping real Christmas trees from going up. Companies selling trees say people are still strapping them to the roofs of their car despite price hikes ranging from 5% to over 20%.
Can't kill Christmas.
Nope.
Instagram is rolling out its 2022 recap. Users can select the new Reels template and choose 14 photos and videos to share again. You can even add narration from several popular artists. The template will be available into early 2023. Well, doctors have notoriously sloppy penmanship, but now Google is working with pharmacists to come up with technology to decipher your doctor's bad handwriting. The idea is to upload a picture of a prescription to recognize medications that are then translated into eligible text. And it is a new look keyboard and a transparent, and there's a screen inside of it. It's made by Final Mouse and is set to be available early next year and will cost around $350.
Epic Games, the maker of the popular video game Fortnite, has agreed to pay more than $500 million for violating children's privacy laws. Those details coming up a little bit later on in your GMA First Look. But right now it is 6:08, 46 degrees.
All right, and there is much more to come on GMSA, including the safety audit that occurred at Uvalde CISD. Coming up a little later, we'll take a look at how the district did.
And of course, time is running out. Have you mailed off all your holiday gifts to family and friends? We'll show you how the post office is keeping up with that increased demand.
And a live look outside with City Cam. We know it's just days away. That freeze is coming, so Mike Osterhage has all your details.